Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday. Yes. Okay. Holiday weekends throw everybody off. It's like, okay. And of course, it's Tuesday night, and I'm doing this a little bit before the live stream, so we have this done and can kind of go on with the day afterwards. So, we are now, Wednesday morning, 2 days away from CyberPolygon. Okay. And for those of you guys who don't know what it is, it's a World Economic Forum exercise that is going to simulate what would happen if we had a massive supply chain breakdown in communications. Okay, basically taking out the internet for companies. Now, what I find really interesting about this whole exercise, and again, I'm going to use the term exercise because this is not supposed to happen in the real world, all right? But what I find very interesting about it is the security firm that is at the forefront of this whole thing. Excuse me. The security firm that's at the forefront of this whole thing is a Russian security firm. Now, the reason I find that so interesting, because, Biden's idiotic comment here a couple of weeks ago where he gave Putin a list of the 16 things that he couldn't, that he wasn't going to allow Russians to hack. Okay? The answer should have been, you don't hack anything. Not, here's 16. Because all that's saying is the other 9,994,272 are fine. Go ahead and hack those. But these 16 you have to leave alone. You can almost guarantee the DNC is one of those things that Biden said you can't hack. But what surprises me most about this is with the Russian firm running this whole security thing. By now, pretty much everybody knows about the Kaseya hack that happened on Friday, going right into a 3-day weekend. If you don't think that was planned, you're wrong, okay? That was absolutely planned. Everybody was out, skeleton crews, whatever would be, and let's go in and destroy everything, But this hack that happened on Friday, or this ransomware scenario, whatever you want to call it, was done by, and the reason I've waited on this a little bit is I was waiting for verification. There was a lot of speculation, but I wanted verification. And it's now we've got verification that it was done by REvil or REvil or whatever they're called, okay? It's capital R, capital EVIL, so REvil or REvil. But that's a Russian group of hackers, and they are a very sophisticated group of hackers, okay? And this isn't their first rodeo. Now, this hack that they pulled off on Friday is one of the biggest hacks that has ever happened, okay? It rivals that of SolarWinds, the one that was discovered last Christmas time, whatever it was, about, where you had government agencies and everything. REvil went through, and to give you an idea of how big this hack was, okay? The biggest country, or the country that got hit hardest with this, was the United States, and Italy was the other huge one, okay? That 40 to 45% of companies were affected. But then you had Canada, Australia, Brazil, Mexico, most of Western Europe, China, they were all hit, okay? Lesser in that, 0 to 10% of their companies hit. So this was, directly targeted at the United States and Italy. I don't know why Italy, but that's a very interesting part to me to see, okay? But to give you an idea, you had the Swedish supermarket Coop or Co-op, however, I don't speak Swedish. They shut down about half of their stores because their cash registers didn't work, okay? You had schools and kindergartens in New Zealand that were hit. Public administration offices in Romania. You had IT service providers, your ISP in Germany that got hit. So, this was all over the place. But, it's very amazing to me that we have a Russian security firm running the WEF deal, CyberPolygon, and we have a Russian cyber hackers doing in real life exactly what this CyberPolygon is supposed to simulate in an exercise come Friday. All right. Now, if you think REvil is, chances are you haven't heard of them, okay? But, I mean, they've gone after, and quite often, some big players. I mean, Acer, the computer company, Taiwanese computer company, they've tried to extort Apple for money. They went after a celebrity law firm that represents Lady Gaga, Madonna, U2, and they demanded something like $21 million in ransom. And when the law firm offered $365,000, they doubled the ransom to $42 million, and then wound up publishing a whole bunch of legal documents, Lady Gaga's legal documents, Madonna's legal documents, all this sort of stuff. So, I mean, extortion is literally what we've got going on, okay? I mean, they've gone after Kenneth Copeland, Software One, Quest, TravelX. I mean, this is a big deal, okay? So pay it, obviously I will, but pay attention closely to what's going on because, just like we saw with the last exercise that the WEF pulled off, which is what happens if there's a worldwide pandemic, enter COVID shortly thereafter. Now, what happens if there's a worldwide supply chain software complete malfunction? There you go, okay? I mean, these guys aren't going to stop, and you can bet they're just kind of going, cool, you know what we're doing on Friday? Who knows what they hit this time? So, I mean, there's a very good possibility, I'm not saying probability, that, we wake up Friday morning and you got no internet, or your TV doesn't work, or your cell phone doesn't work. I mean, there's a date that's been set for a long time, and these guys are going, cool, they want to practice on this date, let's show them the real thing on this date. So I'm just saying, be prepared for something like that. So that was kind of the one big one that I want to talk to today. But the other one, we got to have some stupidity come out of Washington. If anybody caught Jen Psaki's press conference today, ding-a-ling, I'll circle back to you on that one, okay? This is kind of, if you read between lines, it's a little scary here, okay? Potato Joe said he wanted 70% of the population to get the jab by the 4th of July. We ain't come close, okay? They're still hovering around 50, okay? And at this point, very few people are going, oh, cool, you know what, I've been waiting forever, let me go do it. So the administration is now organizing a door-to-door campaign to encourage unvaccinated Americans to take the jab. Now think about this for a second. First off, there's somewhere between 100 and 150 million people that still haven't got it. Okay, and I've said many times, I'm sorry, you just don't have the freaking manpower. I will be dumbfounded if somebody rings my doorbell and says, would you like to get the jab? We can do it right here on your front porch. I would be dumbfounded if they came out this far out in the middle of nowhere, okay? But the scarier part is, if they're going to do a door-to-door campaign, does that mean they have a list of people who have and have not gotten the jab? Think about it. Are they, 335, 340 million people? They're not going to knock on every door and say, have you got it? Because everybody's going to lie to them, okay? So they must know who has and who has not. So does that mean that all the Walmarts and your doctor and Walgreens and whatever, we know they've reported all the names to the CDC. So now is the CDC giving those names to the government? HIPAA violation, anybody? Okay. So, this is where it gets a little worrisome. If they are now if they have a list, they are blatantly violating the law. Your federal government is violating the law that they wrote. there's a problem there. Okay. Now, I was reading the article, and of course, my answer was, if somebody comes and rings my doorbell and says, "Hi, we're here to talk to you about the jab," they're going to leave on a stretcher. But that's me. Okay. And that's probably a lot of people. I'm not going to, there are probably a lot of people say they're going to leave in a body bag. I'm not going to go that far, but they're going to walk out of here not in one piece. Let's put it that way. Because no, sorry. You want to commit suicide? I'll tell you what. I'll grab the needle out of your hand, stick it in your arm right now, and let's see how fast you go run for the hills. So, but that just goes to tell you how little your government thinks about your ability to make a decision with your life. That they now think it is their responsibility to come knock on your door and coerce you and insist that you do this. Anybody else got a problem with that? Because this guy sure does. All right. So, all right. Keep vigilant. Keep an eye out. Keep prepping, guys, because like I said, come Friday, we don't know what's going to happen. And, like I said, if we all turn on our computers or I go to upload a video and there's no internet, we don't know if it's going to be the World Economic Forum. We don't know if it's going to be REvil, whatever it's going to be. But shit's getting bad out here, and there's still half to 2/3 of the population of this country who have their head in the sand so far deep they're never coming out. But for those of us that are paying attention, watching what's going on, and trying to learn what's going on, trying to read between the lies and the lines, we should be okay. But keep doing the things, guys. Keep prepping, keep stocking your food, keep working on your security, keep working on your power, whatever you got to do. I mean, learn. I mean, your brain has an infinite capacity to put new things in it. Keep putting new things in it. I don't care if you're 20 or you're 90, okay? If you can learn one thing every day, that just makes you a little bit better than you were the day before. So, all right, guys, if anything comes up, I will be around, but we'll see y'all later. Pinball out.